Hello everybody, I'm Steve and welcome to Green Side Up. Quite a chilly wind today. Just checked on my phone and the temperature's 4 degrees, feels like -1, and it does, it feels like -1. It's blooming cold. Couldn't get down yesterday. I had some things to sort out at home and help my better half with. So I've been in and had a look. It's not all good. We'll have a quick look around and I'll show you what isn't good. We'll have a quick look around anyway. So here we go. Now first off, this great big pile of compost. Somebody mentioned it on the comments the other day, and this bed, and it was making him feel a bit antsy because it wasn't filled. Well, the day before yesterday, before I came up and before that guy made that comment, I actually lined these ready, and that's the plan today. Get some cardboard down and get these filled up with that compost, then that's done. Just backing off a little bit. These wallflowers are looking lovely now. Still not quite the height they should be, but I can get a few pickings off for a vase. Little vase of happy again. Elephant garlic there, doing all right. The onions I planted the other day, they seem to have perked up a little bit. We'll get some more planting done towards the end of this week, hopefully. So there we go. That's about it for this side now. These wallflowers, much smaller than the other lots, but you know, it's jolly, it's happy, so I'll leave them in for now. But they will come out. This little bed here is all nicely ready. 2 wigwams up here ready for sweet peas. Again, next couple of days sweet peas will go in there, get them rocking and rolling. Over here in the pond, yeah, this is the lily I posted the video about the other day and planted. And I've since spoken to the person and made the donation that inspired me, and it was Willow, one of the subscribers on the channel. So thank you, Willow, for that. That's wonderful. I'm absolutely overjoyed with that, and the tadpoles seem to love it. There's a couple swimming around it now. There we go. So moving swiftly on, we'll go in a big tunnel last because that's where there's a bit of a disaster happening. These are all my spuds. They're all mulched and covered at the moment against the cold weather. Now, in the small tunnel, lots of plants in here, but I get the sense that these are all struggling because, like many people up and down the country at the minute, these plants, everyone's got plants that are ready to go out and desperate to get out into the ground. And I have a sense, I don't know what it is, but I have a feeling that a lot of these plants, once they're in the ground, will struggle, or they'll bolt, or they're not going to be as they should be. So I think I'm going to start sowing, but in small numbers this time. I'm just going to have replacements as such. So it'll be things like salad leaves, spring onions, a few beetroot, those sort of simpler salad stuffs, and then we'll crack on with doing all that. And by the time I'm finished planting, hopefully they should be near enough ready to plant. We'll see, but I think that's what I'm going to do anyway. So I've got peas for pea shoots down there, and some more hollyhocks. I think they're going up home, and there's more peas for shoots up there in the gutter. Yeah, they're looking fairly healthy. Anyway, let's rock and roll. So one of the other things I got done the other day was I got this bed all sorted out, which is nice now. Out here at the back, got this honesty out here. Now this is the stuff, if anyone doesn't know it, its Latin name is lunaria, or lunaria, I'm not sure which should give you a hint. But the seed heads are sort of round, about the size of a 10p piece, and sort of papery, and they dry wonderfully and make great flower arrangements. So that's what that is. But I'm going to be picking some of these flowers. They're just too nice to leave on the plants. I can see below that there are sort of side shoots coming off, so I'll get the seed heads off those. But these flowers can be picked and go into a vase. Sweet Williams are going well. I'm not sure if I'll get flowers off them this year, what with all the dry weather. But if not, they'll be good for next year. So it'll be suck it and see. And then the rest of the bed, nothing much happening in there just yet. We have had some rain yesterday, barely touched the soil. But there we go. Right, into the tunnel. A, because it's warm, and B, because there's a bit of a disaster in there. So we'll have a quick look in here. Now, I planted my Crimson Crush tomatoes early, brought them down, and I planted them the same time as I normally do, and they've had cold shock. So here is the first hot box. Now you can, if you look at the tomatoes at the back, the ones that are actually planted, you can see the leaves have gone white. That is cold shock. When you see that at this time of year, it's cold shock. And you can particularly note it because there is still green on the plant, and they are the leaves that didn't get cold shocked, okay? So they will recover, they just won't have the same vigor as a plant that is all green. So these are the backups in here. One or two of them has been slightly tainted, but on the whole, not too bad. So I'm thinking I'm going to rescue these today, take them home, put them in the kitchen for a few days, because we have got one more frost coming. I mean, look at this, even though it's got cold shock in here, we've still got flowers on them. So I'm going to rescue them, take them home, put them in the kitchen, and see if that will revive them. If not, I've got the backups. In this one, it's even worse, as you can see. But it wasn't unexpected. I knew I was pushing boundaries, and last year I actually planted these about a week earlier in here in the same method, and they thrived and they did really well, and by now they should have the startings of fruit on, maybe, and certainly be covered in flowers and be a lot taller. But that's what cold shock is, and it's also evident in some of these other plants I've got up here, certainly these fuchsias anyway. This one is not too happy, it's dying off, but you can see the tips of the leaves, in particular over here. Again, this is cold shock. Fuchsias are a warm weather loving plant, and you know, that's cold shock on them, and it's on some of the others there. Anyway, moving on. Carrots are thriving away over here, and I need to get these thinned out now. The carrot pots are starting to germinate and come through. And this is a peony, this is looking lovely. And up above us, the grapevine. This is Black Hamburg, I think it's called. And it's about 4 years old, I think now. 4, maybe 5 years old, and it's doing wonderfully. I will let it grow more grapes this year. You can see here we've got the startings of the bunches, so we're off and running, and I'm very pleased with that. So there we go. Hasn't taken long to grow this. And I've other plants. I've got plants everywhere, haven't I? Plants waiting to go out as per the usual thing. These actual beds, I did have some pallets down here and a polytunnel on top. I've moved all that out the way so I can dig these beds over and get these ready for planting. Underneath this lot, again, there are pallets down. Those beds have been dug over, ready to go. Put the pallets down to protect the soil, and all my dahlias are under these. And if I just move this door, pull this back, they were stored in compost over the winter, and this is what we've got now. So they're sprouting away merrily. So one day this week I'm going to have to dig my way into this lot and sort it out, get them planted up, potted up, so these can rock and roll. And there's a whole heap more under here as well. So yeah, these all need sorting out. These are French beans in here, and these shouldn't really be doing this in a minute, but you can see even on these there is new fresh growth on these from the last couple of days. So these need planting, and these are going to be planted inside, because if we put them outside they'll be dead in a week. So there we go, a kind of a whistle stop update tour, if you like, of where I'm up to. Now I can get on with some work, and get a few things sorted out, get those blooming beds filled up. Anyway, look after yourselves please everyone, stay safe, and I'll see you very, very soon. Take care now, bye bye.